Those last two games, they were all over the shop, weren't they? With the Storm just going nuts against the Tigers. The Tigers couldn't play any worse. And then it's just a game of runs, and it has been for a long time now. Sharkies up early, 14-0, and then Eagles bring it back to 14-all before Sharkies had a stretch like that first 25 minutes again and ran away with it and won by 16 and didn't actually look like losing there. Even with Trindle going off for HIA and a few things going on in that game. But this one here was all one-way traffic, and we have to give Pappy his flowers. What a man. Oh, he just finds a ways to score. He's always in the right position. There's a reason these guys can get 2, 3, 4 tries in games, and then he kicked 10 from 11 as well, 36 points, and he actually scored more than every single other team this week just off his own boot and him scoring tries. So incredible from him. 7 tackle breaks, so 211 run meters. It's just these kind of things. If you're in a good team and you put yourself in the right positions, then you can come out and dominate here. So 100 for Pappy. If you have him in your side, it's an incredible game for you and gets him up to the 53 average if you've owned him for most of the year. Happy days on that one. Now, could he be a buy? Potentially, but that 100 drops him, pops him up near the like 48 price point. And we know before this, if they're not absolutely smashing teams, he does spend a lot of times in the high 30s and 40s. So just be aware of that. Similar to Munster here. 72 for him, had a really good breakout game for this season, his best of the year. But he was able to get three line breaks, 2 try assists there, and the try. So him in this one, he was able to get loose. And in a lot of other games, you get annoyed by his missed tackles, and he sits in the 30s. So definitely someone that I think you still sell come Origin. And Xavier Coates, 75. He has these types of games and actually didn't score a try, but still managed 75. So great game from him running the footy, and did pick up 3 try assists, but back on the inside there for usually Pappenhausen, which was good for him. Nelson, he looked very, very happy to be out there, and he picked up 11 tackle breaks. Didn't miss a tackle, didn't have a negative stat. So that was absolutely massive for Bellamy as well, to have his big man out there looking damaging and not being poor on the defensive end and discipline-wise. So when we spoke about that in the video last night around discipline, and it becomes very, very important. And this was a game that I think Nelson needed. What Bellamy needs to see now, I think, with him is seeing the discipline in those tighter games. Now, Terrell, very, very impressive to be able to get the 64. Unfortunately, he did try to lob an offload out the back, which turned out in an intercept. So little plays like that could be the difference between 64 and 70, and then he's the exact same as Payne Haas, which would have been nice. But thankfully, all the captains were very similar. I did pick wrong this week by 11 for Cleary and 6 for Payne Haas. But in this game, to be able to get 64 and be the only guy over 50 for the Tigers, it's expected that he's going to be up there. But he did it in tackling, and only 4 tackle breaks and 1 offload to ground, and had -8 to still get 64. Very impressive. I still think he's the guy definitely to hold over the Origin period, but it looks like we're probably holding him, Haas, and you could almost even hold a Cleary as well, and maybe sell Yo and work it out from there. But I think even if he does make Origin, I don't think it's massive minutes, so he should be able to play for Tigers pretty easily, whereas guys like Haas should play pretty decent minutes for the Blues. Husey back in action with the 60 and 67. He had the try assist, a little bit across the board there, played really, really well. The thing with him is that he is carrying a shoulder injury. He got another knock last game, so yes, he scored well, but he's going to get these early marks if he can, given the injury he is still carrying. So I think with him, it's pretty clear that you probably have a look in round 13 rather than next week, because they got the bye, and hopefully that can settle his shoulder a bit. And he just needs to not get another knock to it. And we know that he can score really well. And that was on show here with that 60. Eli Katoa, a little bit across the board there with that try, back on the inside from Munster. It was a good little play. 3 tackle breaks, 3 offloads. Just got him through that one. Did have 3 errors and 4 missed tackles there. But a lot of the errors, guys, are going to be from the contests, which is what we see with Lomax as to why he gets a lot of errors. So just be aware of that. He's not playing poor. It's just he's up in those contests very regularly. And still is an option going forward as well. Probably another round 13 look. We got King, we got Garlic, 54 apiece with the try. King just always in the right position, and Garlic looked like he played really well, I thought. Sean Bloor, 52, a good little stint for him, almost the full game. Twali, 45 and 46. It's Seyfarth, 54 tackles and picked up 44 points. It's a pretty wild one. Meany, 37 with the try. What about the... I actually like that. That was funny. As the try celebration from him and Sua Fa'alongo. It was Sua jumped at him, and because he's got the hops, he ends up with his crotch right in Meany's face, and he was like, "I prefer that to not happen next time, please, Sua." And he's like, "Sorry, bro." There are little funny things you can get on Instagram sometimes. In the big bad world out there, you get the funny ones. I didn't see that live, but that was funny. Galvin, 34. Got to stop running sideways, boy. Don't think it's helping at the moment. A lot of sideways running. Get direct. Luai, 32. Both boys missing tackles. Both boys offloading, but yeah, just no one seemed on the same page from the Tigers in this one. Pappy at 28, a bit low. Stefano, 29. Again, in these high-scoring games like we saw in round one, he wasn't able to get in the game there. After last week, where it was all happening at the back end, you had Wishy come on for 28 minutes for 16 points. He's got good footwork, Chan. And then Sue, after the couple of really good games, he slowed it down there. This week, for an 18, he was just jumping into his teammates' arms. Yeah. Relevant kind of game, but with no Stafford there. Adam Dewey had a fairly low one. I mentioned for people to sell him last week, given the situation he's finding himself, the team he's in, the buy schedule, 12 and 15 out. He was ready to be sold at a decent price if you did own him. And now, Sharkies Eagles, 30-14, as I said. It was pretty low scoring, unfortunately, in this one, with 6 guys over 50 and a few in the 40s there, which not what we're after. And Kailero saved his high 30s score with low 40s score with that late try. But he absolutely dominated the Ruben Garrick matchup. And if you are worried about Ruben with that 25, just be aware that defensively they did a really good job on him. And I don't think attacking-wise they were very helpful, the Manly boys there. So Iro, just one of the more dominant centers in the game. So congrats to him with a 59 and continuing his streak. So he got it right at the end there, continuing his streak of scoring in every single game he plays. We had Simkin there with 56 in 68 minutes. He's absolutely flying, and with no, I don't know, we're still unsure when Lockie Croker's going to come back. Simkin continues to take his opportunity and score well. So he's up to a 40 average now. He's making cash, and he'll continue to do so as with Lachlan out and Tavanga playing in that 13 role for the most part. Nico at 53. Looked like a better game for him. He did end up with 2 turnover tackles as well. So you take 1 or 2 of those away and he's under 50 again without the try. Did pick up a line break. Tackle numbers, 27 only. So just a little bit okay across the board. 107 run meters. Nothing's really standing out there in this one. But if you did buy, you'd be happy to get the 53 at his price point. Losing all that cash there. He is priced in an early 40s type of range, in that 42, 43 range. And outdid that, which is good. AFB, 16 tackles in this one. Seemed to be when he was on the park, they were scoring tries and had the ball lots. He had that big break in the middle, and that's when the Eagles started scoring their points. So, maybe that was to do with the tackle numbers compared to other weeks. But, he did well in this one. Just had the 1 penalty and 52. It's a little bit annoying given he got the try, but it was untouched. It was only like a 13, 14 point play. And without those tackles, it's going to be hard for him to do too much, given he's still got a couple of tackle breaks and a couple of offloads. So he'll be fine. Definitely a target going forward. Similar to that with McInnes, but he ended up with a 43. So I don't think, again, you buy this week, you have a look at in round 12. Especially when we've got my new boy this week, Tarpane, come in and absolutely crushed. But Nico Hines, 51, picked up 2 early try assists. This was a little bit of a sad second half, to be honest, given he got to 28 and 25 minutes, 32 at halftime, and then just the 19 points in the second half. But yeah, the attack didn't go his way at the end. He had I don't know about that forward pass at the end. He threw it backwards out of the hand. But neg 10 for him was a little bit hurtful. Tackle numbers were fine, running okay, kicked a bit, had Trindle off for 15 minutes, got a couple of kicks in there, but it was just okay across the board. But I'm saying he looks pretty good in general, and he hasn't hit under 50 since we've bought him. But he just doesn't have that clear upside that we always wanted with Hines. So when you're buying him, you're getting what you're paying for, I think. Bradley 51. For anyone who jumped on, a pretty just solid score. Got the one line break assist. Gerbo still playing 72 minutes there, even with in that 8 jersey, so it didn't change much at all. He's actually playing more minutes, given he was getting sort of 20 rest there. Ramian had a good score of 49, back to some of his better work of just running the footy. We had Billy Burns for 46. 2 try assists for him. Good on him. Olakwatu after the really big score in the bye. 44 for him, back to where he has been, unfortunately. So you still hold. You hope that he has that 70-odd week and he continues going back to that 50 after dropping it down, go back to the 50 average. And then McInnes there, 43 in the 57. It was a similar situation with him. Tackle numbers, he did great to get 33, but there were going to be other games there where they're defending more when he's on, and he'll be able to get those extra 5, 7, 10 tackles and get him up into the 50s, which is where he is priced at, and then had no tackle breaks, no offloads with the time where they had the ball in hand. So annoying score, but fine overall. And then Jazz Tavanga, 41 for him in the 49 minutes. Shout out to Ronnie for the 2 tries and the antagonising, as he always does. But Jazz 41, got 41 tackles in this. No tackle breaks, no offloads. Really good score with the minutes. Great PPM, and this is kind of more around what you can expect from him usually in the 13 role with that PPM. And I think he was a dummy half for a bit at the back end of the game to spell Simkin there, who played 68 minutes. So a mixture of that's where all the tackles came from. He worked hard on that front. Burbo 38, mainly all tackles again. A couple of negatives for him. Just stock standard solid if you own Matty T. Hamlin, Stone Street, Colquhoun. Didn't get Simbin straight away this game. Good on you, Jesse. Remember when we bought him a couple of years ago? He had the good score and then got injured. That was tough. And then Garrick really to finish here. 25 for him. Had the 3 goals. Just the 6 missed tackles, 3 errors was the mess for him. So he's still a clear keeper. If you bought this week, you'd be super frustrated. But I do expect bounce back games from him over the next few weeks and over this bye period. Playing all major buys. He's one of the more important players that you can have across this period. So don't sell him. And then Turbo 24, just, not looking himself, just fine out there. Leo Hopewadi, another low score as well. But, don't think anyone really owns Turbo. I hope you weren't buying him before Origin as well. And then Nathan Brown off the back fence. How good was that? Atkinson, 5 in 17. He's so cheap. Crazy. He's going to be so cheap next year when he moves clubs too. So we'll leave it there, guys. I'll head off to work. That's the round wrap-up for this week. The last 2 games. Let me know down below what score you ended up with and where you're at rank-wise. That'd be cool. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.